Hey, how's everyone doing today? I'm feeling pretty fresh-faced, pretty youthful. A little empty, but no big deal. So let's jump into it here. I'm going to talk about some, I guess, the myth of modern health and some of the issues I see with the way that we perceive health. And like what I see is presently we're expected to reduce all modern health problems to just ailments of the physical, just to material conditions. That's all. That's all health is really seen as. Uh, Experts will direct us towards cures that are designed to fix just physiological deficiencies. That's it. The whole system operates to correct problems after those problems have already taken root. Healthcare fails to consider whole health. It's a very narrow lens. We only address health based on the presence or absence of disease. That's it. We don't look any deeper than what is physically present to us. This superficial analysis of health leads to an atomized approach to healthcare. It treats health as the physical state of an individual. The system cuts individuals off from the rest of the conditions related to their health. Like it only sees just that narrow physical lens. People are seen as a biological unit that only requires care once disease is set in. All those other factors are discarded. Factors like the social and the environmental. So as a result of this, we have a population of sickly individuals that periodically go in for treatment when their condition finally becomes too much to bear. There's no ongoing treatment. There's no immersion in an environment of vitality. The population is left to fend for themselves until they are overcome by the consequences of whatever actions, whatever individual decisions they've made. And it seems like the entire system is just like a catch net underneath a increasingly unstable tightrope. And instead of replacing the tightrope with like a proper bridge, we just expand the netting and then build more ladders back up to the rope to hurry people along the way. We just get better at preventing deaths from falling. We just get better at preventing deaths from falling instead of preventing the fall itself. Even as people survive their falls, the more times that it happens, the more beat up and weak they are the next time they get there. So this never-ending expansion of the system's care doesn't really account for our diminishing health. It really only serves to restore individuals to a manageable existence. There's no flourishing involved. And even then, it's not great. People's experiences with doctors keep getting worse too. It's not like the doctor care is improving as we spend more money. All I see is decreasing care. And I mean, this might not even be a new state of affairs. Heraclitus once remarked that doctors cut, burn, and torture the sick and then demand of them an undeserved fee for such service. And the amount of money we spend on healthcare systems are really undeserved. I mean, we put billions into them. Billions to treat preventable diseases like cardiovascular disease and diabetes, conditions generally resulting from poor lifestyle habits. We just fix the symptoms endlessly, and then those root causes remain. People just shuffle through their life, like I said before, until suddenly something becomes too much to bear. There's nothing addressing anything that is causing these issues. And if we look at the way doctors go about it, like they really don't have all the answers. They're not as intelligent as we tend to make them out to be. They're taught to treat from a really materialistic approach and tend to lack a wider scope of practice that would offer solutions to those roots of those issues. And you can't always blame doctors. How do you fix health behaviors that are the result of a broken society for an individual? Like you can't fix that on on a one-on-one doctor and patient level. Yeah, you can't really expect them to fix all that. But you need a systemic approach to a systemic problem, and we treat health as an individual and a physical problem. So individual doctors within the system can't fix it either, just like individuals themselves can't be expected to do much, because it's an entire, like the fact that the whole healthcare system doesn't really apply this systemic approach with the whole system to the issue shows where it's failing. And we just don't address health as a many-sided problem. We don't see the social and the physical and the environmental, the spiritual. We don't see any of that. It's just a one-dimensional issue, reducible to the ailments present to us at whatever moment that we're looking at the issue. So whatever hormone imbalances or physiological deficiencies we see at the moment, that's what's getting treated. Doctors don't have time or training to take steps beyond a quick fix. They got to get to the next patient falling off the tightrope. So the reality here is that health isn't really just the individual's degree of homeostasis. It's not just their personal balance. It is the environment that they're embedded in and the factors involved in all of this. The quality of their relationships, beauty of the neighborhood, connectedness of their community, the level of pollution in the world, like that's going to all bear on someone's health. And you could be perfectly healthy in the modern sense of the word, in the sense of your body's in proper homeostasis, your cardiovascular system is functioning properly, all of these things that we use the word health for. But you can still be negatively impacted by everything around you. Like you could be perfectly fit and you're not doing anything about the environmental conditions bearing down on you. You're not doing anything about air pollution. You're not doing anything about the mercury content of your tuna. You're not doing anything about the architecture surrounding you. If it's an oppressive, terrible architecture in an ugly neighborhood, what are you going to do about it? You're not going to do much. So we can't really pretend that individuals can just will themselves into good health by their own. Like it does take a village. And then this ties us back into the point about the way our healthcare system only addresses the problem on the individual level. It's just atomizes health into single people. And so we only have individualistic responses to systemic issues. The healthcare system required for treating a mass social illness, it only treats individuals. It doesn't treat the whole society. And that's what the system needs to be doing if it wants to actually address the roots of these problems. And with that being the case, with the fact that we don't have a system that addresses a system problems, therefore a healthy person, in that modern sense of the word, doesn't really have any use for the healthcare system, because it's designed to treat people that have diseases caused by the problem as individuals. So those healthy people, they're left on their own to fight off whatever waves of disease posed to them from the world they live in. They got to figure it out on their own. The system is really only focused on helping those who can't fend for themselves, which is most people, really. And the thing is, it doesn't really make it easier for the people struggling to fend for themselves. Like I said, it's not like they're turning that tightrope into a bridge, right? Instead, they just get the safety net, and then they're sent right back up on the same tightrope. And maybe they got a well wish, good luck, but probably not even that. So the truth is, everyone relies on each other for their health. There is no individual health. Your positive health choices were the result of someone else leading you in the right direction. When you go to the gym, you play a sport, that all requires others to make those activities happen, to make sure those things operate. No one does any of this on their own. So we have to stop pretending that we can. We have to stop pretending that you can just will good habits and good discipline and then suddenly you're a healthy person, because that's not how that operates. There's always a social factor involved in that. So the myth of modern health is that this idea that health is confined to the individual, that the personal choice of someone can fix their own issue. No, That's not what it is. We can only claim to be healthy if you have a healthy community, if you have a healthy nation, if you have a healthy environment. That myth of modern health has to be discarded in exchange for a wider notion of health. A notion that can grasp the multi-sided nature of the social and the physical and environmental and spiritual factors that go into this equation. If we confine ourselves to this really limited, one-dimensional perspective on health, then it's just going to keep getting worse. But again, we can't do it on our own. So we need proper systems in place to address this. Now, what can you do? Well, like I said, it takes a village. So at the very least, as a healthy person, you're going to need to find or start a healthy community and then work from there. So that's all I got for today. See ya.